right. So this is the Psychotic Strength Podcast. This is Tyler Toby Townsend and
Albie Mushaney.
all right, Big Bad Santa in the house.
Got to fluff this up for the public.
Yeah, well, you're not.
Looking a little rough there.
It's not video, brother. You're okay.
That's just for us.
Not video. That's the draw here. Is this handsome face?
I get it. I know. I wish I was better at it, man, but I'm not. So this is audio and shit. And I mean, I'm sure I should have cleared this with you before, but I don't edit anything.
All right.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't even know how. So
I mean, that's for nerds.
right. Just mean what you say. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so let's get right into this. I'm gonna do my gym update real quick, which has been going. I just had PT for the first time on this hamstring.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lady was super knowledgeable, really helpful. I gotta stretch it out and do some stuff to it to where like it'll just be manageable. It was a 75% tear of actually the tendon, not the muscle. So yeah, she went through all that shit, and but it's still there.
So is that something that cannot be repaired, or is it something that just has to kind of grow back together and heal on its own?
It'll repair itself. Yeah, like if it was a full tear, then they'd have to go back in there. But since it's still connected, it'll just fix itself. Which I have full range of motion. I got a little pain at like the bottom of a full squat, like an ass to grass squat. But
yeah,
it is what it is, man. I'm all right with it. Lily's been pumping some shit out.
You're never gonna do a powerlifting meet, so it's not even. Squats were my favorite exercise of all time, and I just can't. I can't love them anymore. You know, there's like that toxic X. I just had to. I do them a little bit, but a belt squat is basically, you know, what makes my ego feel better. Because to put weight on my back, it gets such a weird tension on my stupid knee. It's just. I had to say goodbye.
Oh, that sucks, man. Well, at least you're still doing some sort of squat. I thought you gave it up altogether. I'm like, how are you working?
Oh no. I hit I did a couple of sets at 405 a few weeks back, but man, I was gibbled for a week. It's just the left knee's never going to be the same.
Oh, right. Yeah, you blew it out on that log, right?
Yep. Which I'm headed down to Arizona in August to lift on that same log in a contest. So it's revenge tour time.
Yeah. It's about time, man. I'm excited for you to fuck that log up.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, well, how's the gym been going for you? You done any deep water lately?
No, since after OSG, I decided, you know, I was like, okay, I'm gonna rest. I survived that contest, nothing hurt, but I also didn't do as well as I should, and I was kind of toying with the idea of just being done, and you know, I was coming to grips with the fact that I was just going to be the big old guy at the gym that looked strong, you know, maybe not be strong. But then I start lifting and I look around the gym and I'm like, still the strongest guy in it. So I'm like, all right. Then, you know, I pick up some farmer's handles and they move, and I do something else and it moves. I'm like, you know, maybe I got a couple more contests in. So I only signed up to do the one this year.
Yeah.
I'd love to do more because I really just am in love with the process. I love going and competing and seeing the venues, seeing the new places, meeting new friends, hanging out with old ones. Like, that's what I love and would miss most about the sport. You know, surgeries and recovery and pain, all that, I can pass on all that, but you know, it's just I would miss the people and the events and the crowds and stuff because I'm always better in front of a crowd.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, you're always welcome at our shows. You've helped with a bunch of them. I think you're coming to the fucking expo to help out again. I don't know if you were sure on that or not.
Yeah. Well, what's the date again?
September 5th and 6th. It's Labor Day weekend.
Oh, that's the wife and I's 18th anniversary, so I will be busy that day.
Okay, well, good. You can't, I wouldn't ask you to try and forego that one. That's a big one.
Yeah. Yeah. It would be my last if I missed it.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, the cars that we're flipping, they're not going anywhere. I'll still have them. So maybe just come up and flip them with me.
That sounds good.
Yeah, man.
That sounds good.
So,
Yeah, that was a fun show last year. That was pretty cool. I really liked the big wrecking balls or whatever the shit those were.
the,
Those were kind of fun.
the Sisyphus stones, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty.
Yeah, my buddy made those, and he's coming again this year, I believe. But it's been pretty crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
like welding this car together and shit, I still got to take the damn thing apart. The transmission's heavy.
yeah. Yeah, they are.
Yeah. I mean, this leg thing hasn't helped. I mean, I got to get under it. I got to move it. I got to do all this other bullshit. So we'll see.
Yeah,
And I got to make the car. One of them's a Geo Metro, which I could probably flip full, you know.
yeah, yeah.
But I got to
That's
make
not
it so a
lot of fun.
135-pound woman can flip it.
All right.
So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just trying to think of it. It's like you might want to just get like a riding lawnmower for them to flip.
Oh no. No, they'll be able to do this one. So the plan is to like backload it inside the car, so that it
Yeah.
flips a little easier.
Okay.
But
So
we'll,
they're lifting it from the right side. There's a little more weight on the left.
yeah,
That kind of thing. Okay.
yeah, it'll be fun. And plus, we're doing like a half keg is your first like level, and then a full keg's
Okay.
your second level. So if they got to kind
Okay.
of rest and reposition, they can do that, and then continue from there.
Nice.
Yeah, it should be a lot of
Are
fun.
Are you welding handles down like by the rocker panels?
Yeah,
Okay. Cool. Cool. Cool.
which is
Does
another
that mean where
part.
people just have to like get under the door jamb and get it off the ground and then reach down and get a hold of it and it's like, ugh,
Yeah,
that looks rough.
it's pretty scary. I mean, I don't need any
Yeah.
bicep tears. I hate people getting hurt at my comps. You know, it always sucks.
Yeah.
But so
Yeah.
I want to reach deep into the depths of the history of the Albie.
Okay.
Right. So like
Right.
let's hear it, man. Let's hear your story. How'd this start? How'd you get into
So-
lifting? All that.
I'll take it all the way back. Someone asked me the other day, they said, how long have you been lifting weights? And I said, 41 years.
Wow.
I started at 12 years old to combat an abusive older brother. And I would lift his weights while he was not home.
Okay.
And then after he got in a fight with my folks, they shipped him off to Oklahoma to live with his real mom. And he didn't come back till my senior year of high school, which my senior year of high school, I was 5'11", 310 pounds, and held the school bench press record and the squat record, 375 pounds and 510 pounds as a high school kid. And then I had a 505 deadlift and a 275 power clean.
Wow.
And I wrestled just to stay in shape for football. So when he came back, we kind of tussled in the yard for a little bit, and that was the last time he attempted to abuse.
Yeah.
Because he was like 6'1", 180 pounds. And, I basically ragdolled him for 30 minutes in the front yard, which that felt good. But then, you get into high school and you're kind of good at football, but nothing else. And so you lift weights to be better at football. And then when football's done, it's like, what else are you going to do? You got to lift weights. And my senior year of high school, I found a powerlifting gym in Salem that was ran and owned by the legend Doyle Kennedy, the first guy to ever deadlift 903 pounds in an international contest.
Wow.
And learning how to powerlift from a two-time IPF world champion was instrumental. Like, you learn about work ethic, you learn about technique, and just like the things I learned at the age of 17 and 18 have stuck with me my whole life. And so, and then I done in '96. I did an Region 8 powerlifting meet. I think it was USPF. And I won an 8-state regional powerlifting meet and set 3 of the 4 state records. And then that was the day I met Stan Efferding, because he did his first powerlifting meet, and he talked about it on one of his podcasts and showed the trophy. And I have the same trophy. And I was like, dude, and I sent him a picture of it. I go, that was a cool day. And he goes, dude, Biggin, that was awesome. So
That's
that
cool,
was
man.
that was pretty, yeah. And then it wasn't long after that the Gold Gym in Salem held. They used to have a summer sports fest downtown at the Waterfront Park in Salem, and they put on the Oregon State Strongman Championship. And I won that, and I beat Mike Kromer in a tiebreaker at the end of that. And in my first contest, it was like a keg toss, and I beat him by just a couple inches. And he's been sour about it ever since. So he started writing my workouts. He pays me back every single workout.
I bet.
Son of a bitch. Like, he is just... But that just turned it for me. Like, that was so much more fun. And the next contest I did was the Budweiser Open in Bend, and I got to compete against this dude named Jeff Maddie, who was like 500 pounds. A guy by the name of Jeff Marcroft, who was just an absolute freak. Like, he looked like every cartoon character of a big jacked Marine. Huge jawline and everything. We're still Facebook friends. Ken Brown, who was a World's Strongest Man competitor. I competed the first day and woke up the next morning peeing blood, so I decided not to go back.
Fair.
But that was the last strongman contest I did until I made my comeback 11 or 12 years ago. Like, I started having kids and had to get a job, and that took me away from the gym. So for like 15 years, I just gained 115 pounds and kind of lost my way. And when my youngest boy was born, I was 42. And I weighed just over 400 pounds.
Damn.
And I was sitting on the floor, and my other kids were having to put my socks on for me. And I got to thinking, I go, in 18 years, I'll be 60 when he graduates high school. And you don't see any 400-pound, happy, healthy 60-year-old people rolling around.
Yeah.
And if you do, they're in a scooter at Walmart with their fucking dog in the basket and, yelling at their 10 kids. And I was like, I'll be damned if that's going to be me. So I started getting back in shape. Like, first gym was the Croc Center, and it was like a week gym, but we went because it had the pool for the kids, that kind of shit. And then I hurt my elbow trying to bench heavy real quick, and because it took me like 3 months to get back to a 405 bench.
Wow.
And the whole gym would literally stop, and then I started getting like elbow tendonitis. So I did a YouTube search on elbow tendonitis, and that old Mark Bell video called Powerlifting Motivation came on, where he's like, fuck you and fuck your elbow. He's like, we're all going to be in pain, we're all going to be in agony, and we're all going to die. You might as well be a fucking savage in the meantime. And I was like, you're damn right. So I bought one of his little elbow cuffs and went back to work. And then I signed up to do a contest. Little strongman contest down at Will Dinwiddie's gym down in Eugene at the time. And the beard was really short at that point, but I had a t-shirt that looked like a Santa shirt. It looked like a Santa suit, but it was a t-shirt.
Dude, I was there.
Really?
Yeah, at his little gym. Will Dinwiddie, the arm wrestler, right?
Yeah.
Do you have the one where it's like a hand holding up like a little organ? It's a little red organ?
I can't remember, because I came in dead last. I got my ass whooped.
Well, we did like the Conan's wheel and deadlifts. I was the one in the... I had You seen Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah.
So like the little Saiyan armor, and I was the screaming one. I was screaming the whole... When I first started, that was my second competition ever. And that'd have been about the time.
I might have done like the year before, because I don't think we had the Conan's wheel. We had a yoke walk on his crooked ass road, and like a sandbag medley, and a log press, and an axle deadlift, no straps.
Oh no!
And I think, yeah,
we were pulling a fire truck. We had stones, Conan's wheel, so it must have been a different year.
Yeah, it must have been like the year after. This one was, I want to say 2015. Early 2015.
Oh, man. Well, I don't know, because it should have been around 2013-ish that I went and did that.
Well, it could have been before or after. But so I kind of got the bug then because all the kids loved the Santa suit. Like, I came in last. I got my ass whooped. And everybody wanted their picture taken with Santa. And I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be the world's strongest Santa. Yeah. And that just kind of went from there. Well, then I hadn't talked to Mike in years, and he just hits me up on Facebook because everybody had posted about the thing, and he goes, hey, I saw you got your ass whooped this weekend. Yeah. He goes, I could write you a program and that shit'll never happen again. I was like, let's do it. I thought he was purposely trying to kill me. It's like we literally started off with that deep water.
Oh,
And
shit.
he's like, it was on squats. He goes, pick a weight that you can do for, 3 or 4 sets of 10, and then I want you to do 10 sets of that. Well, I started off with 315. Then I did 2 sets of 10. And then I was like, well, this is bullshit. 275. 2 sets. Two and a quarter. By the time I was done, I was down to a 1 wheel. And I was wheezing to get that out. And I was like, this is such wrong. Nobody could do this. But then so I did 4 weeks of that, then Wendler, and then back to 4 weeks of that. By the time I did the second block of that, I did 275 for all 10 sets, and all the way down. And so it was pretty cool. And the next year that we did that, I had done the deadlifts. So I had done 405 for 5 sets of 20 to get my 100 reps, and then immediately worked up to a Wendler, the 531, up to a 585 squat. I moved like 48,000 pounds in one workout between 2 movements. Shit. And I was like, well, I'm unbeatable now. There ain't nobody doing that shit. And I couldn't possibly fathom trying that now. But, when you're 45, you're pretty unbeatable at that point. So it felt good. But the year that he took over, I did the Beats of Strength in Prineville.
Yep.
And Mike did 2 classes. He did Open and Masters, and he won the Masters and took second in the Open, like a dick.
I was there. Yeah.
Yeah. And I earned my ticket to the Olympia, and then I went to the Olympia. Nobody knew me. Like, literally, the only person there who I had ever met before was Lacey Hughes, and nobody talked to me. Nobody did shit. We go out there to press, and I think I either won or took second in the press. And they're like, "Who's your coach?" And I go, "Kromer." Well, everybody knew Kromer.
Yeah.
And Kromer's the press master, and they're like, "Well, that makes sense." And then I ended up finishing 3rd at my first nationals at the Olympia. And the guys that I met that day are still my friends today. George Pearson, Ken, Big Ken.
Nowicki?
Vaughn. No, well, I did meet him not long after that and got sponsored by Cerberus for a minute. But then Vaughn Sikorsky, Mark Bevins, just all the living legends of Masters sports. I met all that day. And I've traveled the country. Like, I've flown to Pittsburgh just to train with those guys before. Wow. Like, it's just the best people you'll ever meet or you'll meet in this sport. And it went crazy after that. Then I go viral, and then next thing you know, I got a gazillion followers and getting a bunch of free shit in the mail, and it was pretty cool for a bit.
Yeah, you're on the news and shit too.
Yeah. Fox 12 did a whole segment on me. They came to the gym and they filmed for 2 or 3 hours, and I was like, I thought this was going to be live. He goes, "Oh no, we're going to edit it. This is going to be a whole segment next week." And that actually got nominated for a Northwest Emmy.
Wow.
And then here's what's cool is the Oregonian did a mini documentary on me that you can see on YouTube if you just type in Oregonian Santa, and my video comes up. That one got nominated for the same Emmy. So I'm the only person to have the same story nominated twice for the same Emmy. I didn't win because people would vote for one or the other, and I didn't, someone else got more votes. But that's a little feather in my cap. I was nominated for 2 Emmys.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. If you ever have time, watch the Oregonian one. It's it's well done. They follow me around, and it was literally like my deload week before Worlds, so I didn't go too crazy. I did like trap bar deadlifts or something, and the ladies were still impressed. They had their sound crew, and they were standing in my bathtub to film me brushing my beard in the camera in the opening segment. I was like, this is hilarious. They're like, "You're sure you don't mind that we're in here?" I'm like, "No, I'm ready for my club, so bring it."
Yeah, dude. That's awesome. How many spots, like, how many Santa things do you do probably a year? I know they're all probably in the same time, but how many of those do you?
There's a few that I do like every year. So I'm always my gym is really cool to me, and they've never really charged me a membership, so I volunteer anytime I can for them. And I go, they do a toy donation for Polk County Child Protective Services. So kids that are in foster care that may not get, a good Christmas, they take toy donations, money donations, and then they give to them. And so every year I sit for hours, in a throne that they make, out of gym equipment, and take pictures with all the members that come through. And that one's really special. We had one where people came through and they made their donation. Then a guy stood there and listened and watched. And he goes, "You know what? This is really cool." He goes, "I've got an entire box truck full of toys that we had collected, and the organization we were giving them to said they had enough." He goes, "Could you guys use them?" And we're like, "Yeah." But imagine a whole U-Haul truck full of toys.
Wow.
Yeah. Probably, thousands and thousands of dollars worth of toys. And so that's my ticket to heaven each year is, I do that because it really is fun being Santa. I'll be honest. It's fun. Kids come in, they're either all about it or they want no part of it.
Yeah, I bet.
Some kids come in with their lists. They're like, "I want a Barbie this and I want a this and that." And I'm like looking at them and I'm like making sure their parents are paying attention and they're like taking notes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, I remember you did it for me too, for all my clients. Yeah. It was really cool, man. I still have people that they had their picture posted, everything, man. A bunch of people sent thank you notes, and it was
That's
real
awesome.
cool.
It's fun. Everywhere I go, I'll get someone that either says, "You could totally be Santa." I'm like, well, this is actually like the 8-year anniversary of coming back from the Static Monsters Worlds from Australia. And after the contest, we had gone out, and there was this club called The Bedroom. Every third or fourth table was like a queen-size bed. And if you can imagine a club full of, hot tourists, it was fun. Let's just say that. So we're just standing there taking in the show. This gorgeous woman comes walking by, backs up, turns, and she looks at me and she goes, "Oh my God, your beard is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen on a man." Now, mind you, it was this much longer. It was huge.
Yeah.
And I said, "Thank you." She goes, "You could totally be Santa." I'm like, "Actually, in my country, I'm quite famous for being Santa." And she goes, "Where are you from?" I was like, "America." She goes, "May I touch your beard?" And I'm like, "Sure." She reaches up and she does some of this. And she goes, "Oh my God, that's awesome." And I said, "Well, if you got Instagram, just follow me. Keep up to date, whatnot." She goes, "Okay, I will." She leaves. She goes in the bathroom. I bring up my phone. As she follows me, I look. Miss Hawaiian Tropic, Miss Australia.
Wow.
Was touching my beard. And then I feel this warm over here. And I turn and the wife's like, "Why did you let her touch your beard?" And I was like, "I don't know the customs here. I didn't want to get us kicked out or arrested. I don't know." And she wanted to. So, she was a little irritated at that. But when Miss Australia wants to touch your beard, I'll take the heat for a few minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's burning a hole in the side of your head staring at you over there.
Yeah.
Oh man, you are fucking funny, man.
What's life if you can't laugh at it?
Right. So you also have a book. I remember when you came and did the Santa thing for me, you brought some of those.
Yeah.
How did that become a thing?
Dude, a buddy of mine, whose Instagram handle is the Bama Hamma, he was clever and he had an idea and he goes, "Can I use your likeness on this thing?" And I was like, "Yeah." And you can find the book on, it's on Amazon. It's all the other book sites, but it's The Night Before Liftmas, I think. And literally, this likeness looks exactly like my other glasses. And in the head, it looks just like me. I was way more jacked, but it was just awesome. I was like, "This is so cool." And then he got married, and so he had the characters in the book reworked to look like him and his new wife. And it is so cool. I wish I could buy 1,000 of them and just hand them out to people, but I think they're like $40. But it's a coffee table sized book, though. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Didn't you have somebody else, like a t-shirt company or something, use your likeness as well?
Yeah, Kratos Strength Systems or Kratos Strength Equipment. He used to build gym equipment, and then when COVID kind of screwed up the economy for everybody, and like steel prices went through the roof, and people were trying to buy home gyms and stuff, his business kind of took a hit. So he kind of launched the clothing line, and his name's Andrew, by the way, and he tried to help athletes and promote a cool clothing line, and I think he's got smelling salts. I think that's Pegasus, but he just a good dude. But life just wasn't fair. You know, he couldn't. He goes, I could still build the equipment, but the amount of money that I would have to charge people, being an American-made product with American-made steel, would be. He goes, I can't compete with Titan or even Rogue. You know, the stuff that they import. And so, you know, that kind of went away, but those are still the best leggings. Like, I don't deadlift without my Kratos Big Bad Santa leggings. Like, women have held on to that secret far too long. Leggings in the gym? Yeah. Oh my God. It's like, I literally cannot imagine deadlifting without it.
I enjoy it. I also enjoy the little booty shorts.
I bought a set of those at one of your contests once. It's like, I was packing them one time. I was taking a trip, and the wife's like, "Where are you going to wear those?" And I'm like, "I don't know." I go, "Depends on, you know, the vibe. I might just wear them everywhere." And she goes, "Please tell me you're just wearing them to the pool." She goes, "Don't wear those anywhere." Like, if you wanted to monitor my behavior, you would come.
You would.
Like, I can't.
Yeah, I got some that are like, I almost got cheek hanging out the bottom of these damn things.
Well, I don't have enough cheek, really. It's just more to expose the beautiful legs that I have.
Yeah, well, that's what I like them for. You know, that's what they're really for. But I'm about peeking out the front of them, too. I wouldn't be mad about that.
No. No shame in my game.
So what's next for you besides you have this tournament? Or right, we talked about it before. So what's the contest you're doing?
So it's the Phalanx. I want to say Strength Games, but it's at the Phoenix Expo.
Okay.
And it's going to be at the Convention Center downtown Phoenix. I went and called the show a couple of years ago, and it was really cool being part of the commentary and stuff. A couple of good friends were the other mic men, but then I got to meet Rampage Jackson and brought him over onto the mic, and we kind of hit it off. He was like, "Man, Santa's cool." He goes, "I could hang out with Santa." I was like, "This is awesome." Rampage Jackson is a straight dude in person. Like, he is just cool as shit. But the fellow that's putting it on, and his name escapes me just because I'm old, the fellow that's putting it on had bought Julia Smay's gym down there, and Julia, the year that I blew my knee, I had won nationals, took third at the ESL Masters show, and was just having a killer year. It was like the best year of competing ever. And a month out from Worlds, I was supposed to do Willie Wessel's USS Pro Masters World Championship down in Phoenix. Well, the promoter that they had hired or got to do it absolutely did nothing. He didn't get trophies. He did nothing. And then canceled it a few days before the show. Well, I'd already bought my tickets, and I bought no refund ones because I knew I was going, right?
Right.
And so I contacted Julia. I was like, "Can I come by and train at least? I'm going to be down there, and I'm all juiced up to compete at a world championship, and I'd like to, go down." She goes, "I'll tell you what." She goes, "I'm the state rep. I'll just put on a mock contest and crown you champion." I'm like, "Sweet." So I get down there, and we're setting up the first event. I was going to follow the same events, and I picked my weights, and I did 135-pound block, no problem, 140-pound dumbbell, no problem, 225 axle, no problem, and cleaned a 265-pound log, which at the time was literally academic. I usually Viper press it, but I cleaned it up, and when I dipped and went to press, my kneecap broke in two and tore my patella tendon and my retinacular medial and lateral on both sides.
Damn.
And then the log landed on it, just absolutely destroyed it. And I was more heartbroken over, I had already paid my entry to OSG. I had already gotten some of the, thankfully bought refundable tickets for my flight down there. But I was on point to, I think, because a couple of the guys that I absolutely starched at that pro show finished in the top 10 at Worlds that year. And so I thought I had a top 10 finish coming. And when I blew that knee, I was like, that sucks. I was just absolutely heartbroken. Luckily, I had a good friend down there, and she was filming for me, and she goes, "What can I get you?" And I was like, "An ambulance, please." The EMTs show up, and they made me comfortable. They put a pillow, and they're like, "We're going to have to cut this off." And I'm like, "You can slide the sleeves off, but you can cut my britches." And they're like, "Okay." And when they cut it and saw that, like, if my kneecap was here, it was actually over here, they go, "Well, there's your problem." I go, "Can you do some Mr. Miyagi shit and get me back into it? I got deadlifts next." And they're like, "No, no, we can't help you." Like, okay. And so those were the firefighters. The EMTs were showing up later with the ambulance, and we're just shooting the shit. And people start showing me the videos of what happened, and I'm like, "Send that to me." So I show the EMTs, and we're, in the ambulance. We're headed to the hospital. I text my wife. I said, "I hurt my knee." And she goes, "How bad?" I said, "Well, I'm texting you from the ambulance." She goes, the next thing she says is, "How much work do you think you'll miss?" Yeah. Like, a lot. My kneecap is broken. So we get to the emergency room, and this is funny because those guys had all like radioed ahead, and there was an entire crowd of like doctors and nurses that wanted to watch the video. And I said, "Okay." So I held up my phone facing away from me. And the first thing I go, 135 block, and they're like, "Oh, wow, that's cool." And I'm like, 140-pound dumbbell. They're like, "Oh, my God, with one arm?" And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, 225 axle. I'm like, "Okay, and now pay attention." And I hold the phone up, and everybody leans in. And when the thing snapped and then went down, everybody went, "Oh." I laughed my ass off. I thought that was hilarious. And then one by one, like the next shift would come in, they're like, "Can I watch the video?" I'm like, "Yeah, you morbid fucker."
Yeah.
But then they brought in a mobile x-ray thing and took a picture of my leg, and the guy, like, literally in real time goes, "Yeah, you're going to need some surgery," because it shows my kneecap in two places. Damn. It's like, all right. But the surgeon that put me back together, and they got me in pretty quick. It was only a week to get me in. And I didn't get a chance to talk to him at all because they changed doctors, because I was in some, like, inpatient, outpatient clinic. And then the anesthesiologist didn't like my blood sugars that day, and so they rescheduled it the next day for a hospital. They're like, "In case you have to stay the night." And I'm glad they did, because that's when we found out that narcotics don't work on me. I felt every bit of that pain as soon as I woke up. And they're like, "Oh, well, we'll give you this." And I'm like, "Still hurts, nothing." And it wasn't until they gave me Tylenol that I got some relief. But the surgeon finally comes in, and I go, "Hey, how'd it go?" And he goes, "Real well." He goes, "There isn't anything else I could have done to your knee." We threw the kitchen sink at it, and I said something about, like, "Was this easier than any of the others you've done?" And he goes, "I've never done one of these." I go, "I kind of wanted the doctor that done 1,000 of them." He goes, "There hasn't been 1,000 of these." He goes, "Let me explain to you." He gets this, like, whiteboard out, and he goes, "We had to put your kneecap together and put 2 screws in the bottom to hold that piece together." I was like, "Okay." He goes, "And then we put anchors in your femur and drilled holes through your kneecap to hold it into place. And then we were able to lace together your tendon that goes back to your other tendon." He goes, "It was like stitching noodles or spaghetti." And I go, awesome, that's cool." And he's like, "Also, I don't know how you broke your kneecap. Your bone density is so thick." He goes, "that we went through 2 drill bits drilling those holes." He goes, "Usually a drill bit," he goes, "they're tungsten. They just go through everything." He goes, "Went through one side, had to put a new bit on to go through the other side." It's like, "That's cool." He goes, "Yeah, it should be fine from here on out." He goes, "It's going to always feel like different." He goes, "But it's going to be strong." Brutus, I'm on the phone, dude. That's my XL bully puppy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he put it back together, and it took 3 or 4 months for me to be able to bend it all the way, like to touch my heel to my butt. But I had an amazing physical therapist. He was a personal friend before this, and then when I heard it, they were like, "Do you know who you want to use for therapy?" I was like, "Min Win. He's the only one for me," and he was brilliant. He got me back in action. You know, it's fully functional. It just kind of always hurts.
Always hurts?
Always. Well, and so when they cut the top of my knee, they severed a nerve that made the ball of my foot numb. And between arthritis, neuropathy, and that numb spot, my left foot always hurts. Like, always. And it's not just like an ache here and there. Imagine you know when you sit on the shitter too long and your feet fall asleep and you stand up?
I do.
My foot feels like all day.
Yeah, Lily's laughing because I know that all too well.
Yeah. I've sat on the shitter at work long enough to where the light shuts itself off. I'm like, oh, it's time to go back to work.
Been there. We have automatic lights at the gym, and I've come out to complete darkness and been like, oh, oops.
Good poo. That's some good poo.
Yep.
27 reels forwarded.
Right. I'm also that dude just plowing through Instagram. Usually I'm inviting people everywhere because I got fucking shows going on all over the place.
Yeah.
Right. You said you might make it up for at least the car show, right?
The car show I do want to do. You said that's Father's Day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to do that. But I got the truck all dialed in with the stereo now, and it was. I took it to a little cruise in the other night, and it was pretty popular.
Yeah, I'm excited. My buddy, my Lincoln. I don't know if you've seen my Lincoln yet.
I don't think so.
I got a fucking sexy '72 Lincoln Continental, man.
Dude, is that one of them like big gangster ones?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I've wanted one since I was a kid. It's got like that fucking 8-foot hood.
Yeah.
It's got a 460 in it. The thing is fast. Fastest car I've ever driven. White leather seats, black shag carpet. It's ridiculous.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What color is it?
White.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I even have that like that leather. It's not like leather. It's not a pull-off top, but it's that leather
It's like
top.
Phantom top, like the. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so it's
That's
sexy.
cool.
It's got little portholes on it, which I have like extras of and shit.
That's cool.
But somebody put an EFI system in it before I got it, which I've people are either like, okay, and then other people are just like, well, that's fucking stupid, like getting super mad about it, and which I don't.
Dude, 1972 460s made 160 horsepower.
Yeah.
Because of all the emissions bullshit. So if they took all that off and put EFI on, you're solid.
Yeah.
It's going to start on its own and run. You're not going to have to that's good thinking.
Well, you say that, but it decides. You know, the EFI's got that little screen right by my wheel, and the steering column or whatever. And if it turns on, I'm good to go. If it doesn't, I'm going nowhere. So like I have to unplug the EFI to like reset it and just hope that did what I wanted it to. So for a year, this car has sat in my driveway doing nothing, and I try to start it every couple weeks. Then it turns into every other month. I'm trying to start it. I finally got a buddy who's coming over to help me fix it. He comes over. He's like, "Well, just turn it over and see what it does." Start it immediately. It hasn't had an issue since. It's been like a week. I'm driving it all over the fucking place. I'm pissed, but so happy.
That's cool. That's cool. So, and I love when you can like tinker with your own stuff and make it work. Like I bought an Excursion that had a miss in cylinder 5. Well, a V10 cylinder 5's all the way underneath the firewall. And my big ass hands, it was a pain in the ass. But I got all the plugs changed, all the coils changed, all the injectors, new connectors and everything. It still has a rough idle. I'm like, I don't know what else that I can do. So I might actually have to pay somebody to figure out what's left to do on it, which I hate doing. It's like paying another dude to work on your car is like paying one to bang your wife. It's like, that's my job.
Yeah. Yeah.
I work on my own car.
I don't pay them to do that. They can pay me.
Yeah. I changed the water pump in Barbie, and that was surprisingly easy. I was like, when you hear water pump, you think it's going to be a nightmare job, and it was literally like 8 bolts holds this whole thing on, and then they put the other one on. That was it.
Yeah.
Like the only trouble I had was I didn't realize that you have to kind of bleed the air out of the coolant line. And it was still kind of overheating. I was like, what's going on? A buddy of mine's like, you probably have air in your line. Find the set screw. And he like takes a picture of his finger on in his charger. He goes, open that up until water comes out. I was like, all right, cool. That was it. I was like, sweet. So the next plan is to put a cam in it. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, and there's a cam called El Chapo, and it's like $479 that you can literally just put the cam in and add 90 horsepower. He goes, or you can go crazy and get all the lifting springs and all these different things, but if you want to do like a middle of the road tune with this, because it's like a stage 1.5. Like stage 1 cams, you just put the cams in. Stage 2, you got to add all this other shit. Stage 3, you got to add a ton of shit. This one's like a 1.5. So I was like, okay, I'm cool with 92 extra horsepower, and it sounds like a 70s era muscle car. Like, so that's the plan. That's the next thing I want to do. But
well, I got a buddy. We just went to his house for dinner. This guy took the 10th anniversary edition Mazda Miata. Okay, and he's putting a fucking LS Camaro motor in it, dude. So this motor is almost as long as like it's a compact all aluminum, so it'll fit in there. But it's attached to the transmission and the clutch and shit. And I'm like, this is almost the whole fucking car, man. But he's like, it'll work. He's done all the calculations. The guy's been fucking building cars his whole life. He's like, I can get it in there and get it to happen. He's like, whether it sticks to the fucking road or not is the problem.
Yeah, no, you're gonna boil tires with that. That's the burnout car right there.
Yeah,
I've seen them. There was a Monster Miata kit you could get where you could put a like a 347 stroker Ford motor in there and a 4-speed transmission. It was basically like something out of like a Fox body Mustang, but they made these kits so you could put 5-liter motors in there that fit the same thing, and it was basically like a new Cobra. It was pretty sick back in the day. So this will be fun to watch.
Well, so that's what he's trying to do. Create a Cobra is kind of his little project with this fucking thing. But the car in itself is fucking cool, man. I mean, it's got that. I don't know if you know about the 10th anniversary Miata, right? It's like this special fucking blue paint. All of the carpet, the dash, even the fucking, what is it, the top that comes down, it's all blue leather. Like, it is just fucking cool, man. He's already got racing seats in it. Whoever built this before built it to be on the raceway, and then decided,
like autocross races.
Yeah. But he decided not to do it anymore and take that engine out because it was just too nice of a fucking car. If he wrecked it, he's like, then we're just losing a piece of history. Yeah. So he put it in a shit.
But then the new guy's like, I'm going to put a Corvette engine in it, and we're going to drive the fuck out of this history.
Right, dude. That's how I feel with the Lincoln too. I'm just like everyone's like, oh, you got it in the garage? No. If it will start, I would drive it every fucking day. Why would I not? Like, it's fucking beautiful. Yeah. I drive... That thing is probably the fastest vehicle I've ever owned. And I probably drive it slower than I drive my fucking girlfriend's Honda CR-V. Right? I feel like everyone should see it.
You know? Yeah. At least once.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And that's what's cool. Like, Barbie was the first car I've ever owned. Everything else has been SUVs and trucks.
Really?
And... it's just been, I'm going to be doing some color correction on the paint. I got this kit from Regloss because the sun's kind of cooking some of I thought the paint was fading. Turns out it's just a clear coat, so it's a whole kit. You rub it down with a clay rag, clean all the imperfections off, then you rub it with this light sandpaper, and then you rub it again with another light sandpaper, spraying water on it. And then there's this gloss, and you basically just wipe it on. And you put it on not too thick and not too thin, and it doesn't leave any streaks, and it's just like putting a fresh clear coat on your car. The kit cost me $180. And there's all these YouTube videos of cars that look just like, because I got some clear that's peeling off the front of the car, but then the rest is kind of fading. He goes, this kit will fix both. I was like, sweet. Because this is, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just an RT Challenger. Everybody's got one. But there's only 1,000 made in that color.
Oh,
and... so it's like they only made them for 3 days. They cranked out 1,000 cars in 3 days, and that was it. It was the 40th anniversary of the car and the color, and they're all special. And so I was like, I got to make it as nice as I can.
Yeah.
I'm still going to drive the fuck out of it because it's never going to be worth more than any other RT. So I'm like, this is going to be loud and fast and pretty.
Yeah, I still have the original paint on this Lincoln. Which
Nice.
So there's a few like little cut through spots, right, from obviously little chips or whatever over the years, but it's pretty fucking nice, man. I looked into a paint job. It's gonna cost me probably like 30 grand by the end of it.
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
Yeah, so I'd love to. You get that clear coat thing. You send that over. Let me know what you're doing because I got to put something on this thing because it's starting to. The little pieces you can see steel, and I don't need it getting any worse than that.
Yeah, and this stuff is amazing. It's like I'll send you the YouTube channel links and stuff, and you can see some of the work they've done. But it's called Re-Gloss, and it's just it was an advertisement on Instagram. I was like, huh, and I watched the whole advertisement. Well, next time I brought up YouTube on the TV, your phone talks to your PlayStation, and it was the first advertisement. So then I'm watching some more, and then I'm clicking on the videos, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this. This is cool because they have like customers that do their own cars, send them in, and then they put the YouTube video up too. So it's not just this one guy working his magic on one car. It's the customers putting up videos, and then they repost them showing that regular guys can fix their paint. I was like, I'm a regular guy. In fact, my kids and I, we have a YouTube channel called Santa and Sons, and we're going to start doing, I'm going to make another Instagram page, they're the same name. And we're going to do father-son projects, because I got 6 cars now, a boat, a snowmobile, and a quad. The boat, snowmobile, and quad all need work, so I figure make father-son content, getting them running and stuff, cleaning them up, polishing the boat and stuff. There's a lot of nonsense on YouTube, and it gets millions of views, so I'm hoping that, like, some people will get value out of learning how to do some of this shit. And so that's the goal, but I want to be able to do the stuff right, because granted, fuck-ups are good comedy, and a lot of people watch that too, but, like, I put 2 videos up on my Instagram last month of changing the axles in my Mazda. Each one got 300,000 views.
Wow.
I do some exceptional shit in the gym and gets 2,000 views.
Yeah.
I fall on my face, busting the axle nut loose, 300,000 views. Everybody laughed me up. You should always pull up on it. Why don't you use an impact? Why don't you do this? And I'm like, my impact wouldn't budge it. It hasn't been off the vehicle in 25 years.
Yeah.
And I put it down. They're like, your kid shouldn't be out there with bare feet and it just up on a jack. It's going to fall on his foot and cut his toes off. I'm like, are you dumb? Because a shoe's not going to stop that from happening.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any steel-toed boots, but people just, for some reason, into this video, both of them went viral. Both of them have over 300,000 views. I'm like, maybe I should start doing some car content.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, let me know how it goes. We'll definitely any promotional you need over here, man. We'll do what we can. I'm dealing with that with the brakes on this fucking Lincoln. They're definitely not original, but they're definitely not coming off. Like so they're okay.
Drum brake?
The what?
Are they still like drum brakes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a buddy who's got a '61 Corvette, and he wants me to do a tune-up on it, and I'm going to go out and inspect it this afternoon and put it up in the air, and because I've never changed any drum brakes, but I've seen the videos, and it doesn't, it looks doable, but he's getting it ready to sell, and so I want to make sure that I do everything right, because someone pays for a '61 Corvette, they want it to stop.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, if he wants, tell him to bring it to the show, and he can put a for sale sign in it. See if anybody will get it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
He's decided that he wants modern stuff. He just bought himself a G-Wagon, and he goes, it's kind of nice to be able to just hit the button and it starts and runs. And I was like, it's magical.
Yeah. I got one of those too, but it's still not as fun, man. Come on.
No. No. Like the Excursion, it has a 4-inch lift running on 35s, and it was a retired Forest Service rig, so it's got rubber floors. So me and the kids are going to turn that into like an overlanding camping rig.
Nice.
We're going to beds in the back and stuff. And McGregor asked me, he goes, well, what about the box with the speakers? I'm like, we're going to build around it. Those aren't coming out.
Yeah.
Still got to have our tunes out in the woods.
Yeah.
But yeah, the truck is the only rig that I've ever bought that's exactly what I wanted. Like, I can't imagine. The only thing I did was add a stereo and speakers to it. But the truck is just perfect. Been tuned and deleted, straight pipes. It sounds like a damn train, but it doesn't roll coal. I put my foot in it. It's perfectly tuned. Never any smoke out of it. I was like, that's always one of the things I hated. People put the screws to their diesel and those big, huge cloud of black smoke. I'm like, yeah, that's just unburnt fuel. You're wasting.
Yeah.
And it looks stupid. So,
right. People think it's funny or whatever, or look. I don't know why they think it looks good. I feel like that looks like maybe you don't know how to tune your vehicle.
Yeah. It looks like, some homeless guy's jalopy that he lives in, like barely running. And what's cool is whatever the guy did to it, I can roast these 37-inch tires off at will. I was like, okay, like whatever he did to this thing, I approve.
Yeah.
I like to shake his hand.
Yeah, it's the same thing with this Lincoln, man. Like, whatever, the first guy to look underneath the hood saw the EFI and threw a fit. And I didn't understand it. I'm not enough of a car guy to see what the fucking problem is. But I get about, it was like fucking 11 or 12 miles to the gallon with a carburetor. I get about 19 to 21.
Yeah.
Why would that not be okay?
They don't put them on cars anymore. There's a reason every car has electronic fuel injection. They're efficient. They're good, Now, if you're going to take it down a drag strip and you need some 1200 CFR, you got an 800 horsepower motor, carbs are cool. But for your, it's perfect if it's working.
Yeah.
Is it the original motor, or did they put, is like a Ford F-250 comes with an EFI 460. Did they put one in there, or is it EFI on the original motor?
No, it's definitely, the guy put EFI in. He told me when he sold it to me.
Okay.
Which I was just like, cool, I guess. I don't fucking know what that means, but and I don't know if the rest of the motor is original. I mean, it definitely, there's a little bit of rust in there. I'm not going to lie to you, but
that don't make it not run.
Yeah, it's running. So, I mean, until something breaks. The cool thing is I can also, with the size of this hood, I can reach whatever part of this fucking motor I need to change. And it's pretty simple.
Pretty much crawl in the engine bay and just stand on the ground working in there.
Exactly, man. But driving it's a bitch. So what I didn't know when I first bought it, which I found out quick, obviously, I don't have a passenger side mirror.
You got the sport model.
So it is very like, oh shit, like I gotta look, right? Yeah. And it's low. It was just built that way, right? So like even looking out the back, I got like no vision. And then I got this hood that is half the fucking car. So I've had to relearn how to drive this fucking thing. And honestly, just like I can drive the fuck out of some vehicles. This thing is rough for me to go just drive around. I also spun the wheels when I was going. I drifted quite a bit when I was younger. Little tuner cars, Civics, all that other bullshit. Because I had friends that were fucking amazing. So you learn stuff, right? But like, it's not like I'm keeping up.
Right.
But I came around the corner in the rain because I was like, oh, let's save my tires a little bit on this corner. And I come around and just spun me sideways, hit the gas and went the other direction and kind of pull it back out. Bam! Yeah. It was now pointed the opposite direction. And I just had to come to a stop before I ran into a ditch and was like, fuck this. Like, I got no control.
You were driving Boss Hogs Lincoln on the Dukes to Hazard.
Yeah. It was insane. I've never got spun around that fucking fast. I bet you I could spin it in a whole 360 and keep going straight real easy, though.
That's fun.
Fuck, man.
That was when I first bought Barbie, I was driving through the country, and I was like, all right, it's time to do a smoky burnout. And it wouldn't do it. And I was like, I thought it was messed up. And I took my oldest son for a ride, and I go, I can't get it to do a burnout. And he goes, well, what's this button for? And there's a picture of a car with squiggly lines behind it. And I go, I bet that's traction control. Took that off and just lit it up. Oh. Just smoke show. And he goes, that is now called the fun button, Dad. And I was like, yes, sir, it is. That is the fun button.
That's
And it's
awesome,
like
man.
my car has two different modes. It's got a track mode too. If you can take it out of traction control, but then if you pull out the button that you use to start it and actually put the key in and turn it while it's running and hold it, a checkered flag will come on the dashboard, which means it's race mode and it takes off all rev limiters, everything. And I was like, all that does is look like expensive tires.
Yeah, yeah, they get real expensive. I got those big old steel wheels on it too. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
you'll see
Hey,
it
I'll
if you
send
come
you a
up.
picture of it.
Yeah.
I just love cars, man. And I won't, like, my kid is into cars. We have 700 Hot Wheels.
Wow.
And those are just the ones that are out that I've, collected through life. But he's got another 100 or so that are still in the packages. Every time he buys one or gets a set, he'll Google what they're actually worth, and what they're trading for. And anything that's worth more than like $10 doesn't come out of the package and gets hung on the wall.
Nice.
Like his bedroom looks like a grown man's like man cave. He's got all these cool like video game consoles set up, a wall of cars, just my He-Man Master of the Universe stuff on top of one of his cupboards. It's just he's got the coolest bedroom ever.
Well, at this car show, I have to finalize it with him, but there's a dude who sells Hot Wheels is coming.
Nice. That's cool.
It's gonna be really cool. I mean, he's gonna have some really fucking expensive ones.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We even had one made for his birthday, I think. And because somebody would like, if you send me the car, then they make the back of it and stick it to it, and it's like a picture of him as a caricature, driving the car. I was like,
nice.
That's awesome. That was worth $25.
Yeah. Oh, it's only $25.
Yeah, I think so.
I'd definitely pay that much for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So what do you do for work?
I'm a maintenance guy. I fix shit.
Hell yeah.
I work at a high-end apartment complex, and so fix walls, paint the units, get them ready to re-rent after people move out, and then fix appliances and whatever else breaks around there. I got some plumbing in me, I got some electrical, pretty much general all-around fix-it guy.
Well, you're a jack of all trades then, man. Those guys put in some work.
Dude. And what's funny is the first time I did this job, first place I got hired at, they're looking at my resume and they're seeing corrections officer, real estate, TV, all these things. And she goes, there's really nothing on here that looks like you could do this job. And I go, my experience comes from a lifetime of being poor and having to fix everything to keep it alive and working. And she goes, all right, well, we'll give you a shot. And like a week later, I'm fixing appliances. I'm like, I need this part. They order it. I put it together, and they're like, okay, we'll keep you.
That's smart, man. That's a good way to do that.
Yeah.
So you said, okay, corrections officer. Did I hear real estate in there?
Yeah. I had retired from corrections to do real estate and was working for one of the top agents in town, and then that idiot president doubled interest rates and kind of screwed everybody.
Yeah.
I even had the TV show on HGTV, filmed the whole season of House Hunter Christmas specials, and that didn't help me sell one house.
Really?
Yeah. It sucked.
When was that? When was that?
Dude, COVID time, 2020 or 2021.
You didn't sell any houses during COVID?
I sold a few, but not enough to keep, going. I was in the top 100 in the state for selling 3.
Yeah.
I had sold 3 houses in the first year of COVID. Now, my boss sold 1 a week the whole time. He had 74 closings that year.
Yeah.
Because he was a stud. But now I've passed the schooling to get my MLO license, and I just got to do some practice tests and then take my test. I got a buddy of mine that's in that now and just killing it. And so he's like, come on board. He goes, I'll introduce you to everybody. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah.
So.
Well, let me know when you do that. I don't work Oregon ever. I just have Washington license, but that's what I do for a living is real estate.
Yeah.
So
I remember that. And that's what's cool is so my buddy Steve, he's a licensed MLO in Oregon and Washington, and then he's getting licensed in Texas because he has properties in Texas, and so he's going to be able to offer financing for the properties that he's selling. And so this company's like, you can get licensed in any state you want. You just got to pay for the licensing in each state. And so I'm like, I would love to do like Arizona, Oregon, Idaho, and Washington.
Yeah.
But he's plenty busy just around here. He goes, I got 400 agents in my pipeline. You know, I go to open houses all weekend long. I stand around asking questions, you know, and answering questions for everybody coming into the open house. He's like, I got so many deals working, it's amazing. I was like, okay, I need to do that. He's like, if I make 40 grand a month, that's a bad month for me. I was like, you're a dick. He goes, my best month so far is 67. He goes, but next month I'm on track to make 87. I was like, that is awesome. He goes, if everything closes the way it should, the month of June.
Which they don't, ever.
Yeah. He just sits there, he's like, I did my part, I just need everything to happen.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Well, that's the thing, too. I mean, as a realtor, I mean, you should, you know that. I get shit going. And really, at a certain point, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm just, like, hoping the lender's doing his fucking job. We had 3 extensions on this last one because the realtor just didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Or no, the lender. The lender didn't do anything.
That's what's frustrating too, because Steve is like on top of it. Like he's checking in with people all the time. He's constantly, you know, and the company that he works for is just, he goes, once they hire you, they fly you out and put you up for a weekend with all the other new agents. It's an open bar and it's a seminar and they talk. He goes, they started 6 years ago with 6 agents. He said, December of 2025, they did $24 billion in loans.
Wow.
I was like, that's incredible. He goes, yeah. He's like, they're killing it. And so he's like, get on board and be a part of this. He goes, not only do you get your piece, he said, when he goes, like, once I get you hired, he goes, I'm going to get a piece of what you sell. He goes, everybody under me is, I'm going to get, he goes, one of the guys that makes $100 grand a month hasn't sold a loan in 2 years. He goes, everybody else is working under him, paying him. I was like, that kind of sounds like a pyramid scheme. He goes, I don't care what it sounds like, as long as you're selling houses, selling loans. He goes, I don't give a shit. He goes, I go out and work and get these leads, and he goes, they believe in rewarding people with that, so you're getting profit sharing with the company and everything. I was like, all right, I'm down. I just got to pull the trigger. Because I like what I do, but the body's getting tired of it. Yeah. Walking a lot, my feet are constantly killing me. You know, there's 28 buildings, and they're all 3 stories tall, and, you know, the body's just ready to, like, sit in an office and cash checks, so that's what I'll do. Because I like the idea of going around and schmoozing open houses and shooting shit with people, and, you know, and Steve he had owned a bunch of properties here, and he would sell a house here and buy 2 in Texas. And he had a good thing going. Everything was going well. He goes, all it took was for one tornado to come through and knock out the windows of every one of my properties. He goes, and I was damn near bankrupt. He goes, because your insurance, he goes, unless you pay for tornado insurance, which everybody does, but it's extraordinarily expensive. He goes, because they wreck houses. He goes, you end up, he goes, I was looking for a company that would loan me $600 grand so I could fix all my properties. He goes, and I found this one and got the loan within days. And he said, he started talking to the guy that did the loan, and he goes, you should just come do this. He goes, sell all those properties and come do this. And so that's what he's done. He's down to 1 RV park and 1 office building because he does this now. He goes, a tornado is not going to ruin your job here.
Yeah.
Like, nope. So.
Well, when you're ready, man, let me know. We'll do an open house with you.
Hells yeah. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, well.
That'll be fun. Just people walk through the door and snatch them up, put them over my head a couple of times. I'm like, I'm ready to get your loan going.
You want this house. Buy it now.
You want it. This house is perfect for you.
Yeah. All right, bud. Well, it was good chatting with you. I hope we see you Father's Day. I'll shoot you over a picture of the fucking Lincoln so you can see what I'm working with.
Nice.
But then, yeah, I really appreciate you getting on here, man.
No problem. No problem. I was resting my feet after that long walk home.
Yeah. How far was that?
2 miles.
All right, that's quite a ways.
Yeah, but and I was in my flip flops,
Oh no.
and it's warm here today, but I didn't mind. It was like, okay, I got 5,000 steps in already today. I'm like, I can rest now.
Yeah, that's fair. It's very fair,
Yeah.
man. All
Cool.
right. Well, yeah,
Good
thanks.
talking, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for talking with me. Yeah, you get your MLO license. Let us know, and we'll do something with you. See
Sweet.
what we can do.
That'd be
And
awesome.
then, yeah, man. All right. Well, this is the Psychotic Streak Podcast. This was Tyler Toby Townsend, and
Albie Mushaney.
thank you for coming, brother.
See you guys.
See ya.